let's talk about a fight that is not official, but I'm going to count it as official because it's Mike Coppinger official. Sources from Mike Coppinger, Daniel Dubois, and Joe Joyce have agreed to terms for a heavyweight clash April 18th at the O2 in London on pay-per-view in England. Likely ESPN Plus in the US. Two undefeated big men, both from England, blah, 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 blah. Guys, thoughts on this really great matchup in the heavyweight division? Thoughts on it being on pay-per-view in the UK? I know that probably will have some effect or upset some of the UK fandom.
Yeah, that's the only standout part of that tweet. Obviously the matchup being made is great fight. But you're asking two of the most boring boxing individuals to put together.
Hey, Terrence Crawford's upset right now. He's in that conversation.
Yeah, he's just been bumped in the pound for pound most boring boxers down. He's probably in the same level as he is in actual fighting pound for pound list. But these two guys trying to make
3 and 4, somewhere around there.
Yeah, around there. Gary don't like that.
Terrence Crawford boring. Name a boring Terrence Crawford fight.
No, not fight.
Person.
Oh,
talking about selling pay-per-view. Your fight style can only do so much to sell pay-per-view. That's the unfortunate truth to the matter. Is what Rob's alluding to.
Gary, so yeah, to try and get those two guys to sell a pay-per-view, holy shit, going to be difficult. I don't think they're particularly great draws. Anyway,
was the quick question, the Gorman fight, assuming that was just on regular like BT Sports or something like
that?
Yeah. Any idea what the viewership was for that? Do you remember?
BT aren't part of.
Damn it!
So I can't help you there. But actually, if you ask Frank Warren, he done really well. And if you ask Eddie, he didn't. But yeah, Gary, you talk about it, and I'm going to send Matt something to play.
We shift goalposts there and topic. You wanted me to talk about what topic did you ask the question about? What
Dubois
Gorman. Okay, I don't know how
Dubois, we got Joyce pay-per-view.
Dubois Joyce pay-per-view. Yeah, again, I want to see this fight because I want to see Dubois fight better competition because I want to see Dubois fighting for a world title. I said by next year, by 2021. So yeah, this is the right step. So fight Joyce and then fight someone good after that. Fight Povetkin after that. Well, I guess that they wouldn't make that because that's the Eddie Hearns side. But I don't know what they have over there. But keep going. Right? Fight 3 times this year, at least. I guess.
Give me Joe Miller. Give me Joe Miller after Joe Joyce, please.
They're gonna drain so much money out of Jarrell Miller. They're not gonna put him in with Dubois yet because he'll get destroyed.
I know, but like if I'm like his manager, I want a Joe Miller fight after Joe Joyce. Like that gets you towards a title shot.
If really Tyson Fury wins, their end game is Jarrell Miller versus Tyson Fury in the Garden, right? So I mean, they're not gonna have him get destroyed by Dubois.
No, I understand, Gary. I'm saying what I want, not what's realistic.
I would love that too. I would.
Brian Jennings is more realistic.
Bingo. That's who.
Joey DeWalco is more realistic.
How's the system doing right now, Matt? Are we good? Can you play the video I just sent to the topics?
Is it just a video or is it? No,
I think that's a good year. If Dubois fought Joe Joyce, Brian Jennings, and Joey DeWalco this year, then I think he's in line to get a title shot to fight for a world title by the end of 2021. I think that's the projection he should be taking.
Yeah, he's like number 3 with the WBO right now.
Right? Yeah.
WBC silver title off the back of the Fujimoto win.
Rob, if you want, pull up on your computer and play it because the sound come in just fine. I think.
I'll find it myself then on my computer.
I'll talk as you
do that.
I think this matchup makes a lot of sense. As Gary said, it's obviously a step up for Daniel Dubois in the right direction. Joe Joyce just defeating. Okay, who was his last fight? It wasn't Brian Jennings. That wasn't his last fight. That was the fight before that, right? Or was that his last fight?
Yeah, was it Brian Jennings?
Maybe. Was that his last fight? I feel like he had one after that.
I thought so too.
Regardless, Joe Joyce clearly higher rank than Dubois, but Dubois has so much more potential than him. On eye test alone, I rank him above Joe Joyce. but he needs to prove it, as I often say. You need to prove it as a prospect. And beating Nathan Gorman, another good prospect, is a good win, but you need to beat someone a little more established and solidified in terms of where they rank. And Joe Joyce is a little more solidified with that Brian Jennings win, in my opinion. Plus, I think this is a good domestic fight. I know, like Rob, it's pay-per-view, so the argument does shift to them trying to sell pay-per-view and them probably not being able to do that as much. However, I will say this. I think this does probably better numbers than the Warrington Frampton card in terms of pay-per-view numbers, just because they're heavyweights, I'm guessing. I think, like, I've always been a believer that casuals do. They love heavyweights. Like, they're like, the heavyweight division can be trash, and they will love it and give it more slack because it's heavyweights. The casuals will. And I do think Dubois, while he is kind of boring person in interviews, he is a monster in terms of in the ring. The highlight reel package they could put together, I feel like would be amazing for these two. I could see it doing decent numbers, 200,000, 150,000 pay-per-view buys, and that be decent for them.
Sorry, they could do Joyce slow motion, but not have to slow it down.
That they could do that, yes, that's absolutely true. Great joke there, Rob.
Thanks, man.
I think this does around 200,000 pay-per-view buys. I think that's a decent number for them at what they're looking at. I just think that Dubois is one of those guys. He needs to beat an AJ to become the icon that I think Frank Warren wants him to be, because he can't just materialize that out of his own like AJ did. AJ materialized persona and charisma and star power just out of himself. Like, he just did that in the amateurs and when he transitioned to the pros. He just was a star. Dubois isn't that. So you have to manufacture that with certain fights, with certain wins. And Joe Joyce is a way to get those fights and those wins. It's not one that will make him a star, though.
How do I do this?
Press play.
Yeah, but share screen?
No, you shouldn't have to do that.
Oh, okay. Let me just get it ready.
Like, if you click play on it, it should work.
Potentially,
okay.
I'm gonna speak to and use.
What are you rewinding it? What are you doing?
What's that?
And I need to land it right, and then there you saw it. Good night.
And Joe's going to knock him out next year. Booze.
I'm on. Potentially,
it's just highlights from them having interviews. It was like
I got it at first, but then like the second half, they kind of got off the So I was like, okay, is it trying to?
Yeah, it wasn't. The levels weren't great. It wasn't.
I like the
yeah, that's basically it. It was billed as the Joe Joyce Daniel Dubois press conference.
I'm so glad I did not pull that up and fuck up our system in our live stream.
It's fine, but yeah, no. Even Sam Jones is like, yeah, this has tickled me. To be fair, like Joyce's manager. But yeah, no, look, really good fight. Shout out to the guys. I mean, again, Frank Warren. It's not like he hasn't got the greatest stable, as in I can put all these young guys against each other, because he's only really got. Well, he hasn't really got Tyson Fury anymore. Let's be honest. But Dubois, Gorman, Joyce. I think there's another guy recently signed, but as far as like in-house fights, he's done one already. And shout out to those guys. They, young guys on the come up. They met each other now. Does the O really matter if it goes? No, it's not a big deal. But yeah, Joyce, I guess, pushing on a little bit now. He's kind of got to do something. So a win over Dubois, this highly touted, prospect / I guess contender now with a number 3 ranking with the WBO. But yeah, the pay-per-view thing is maybe. I mean, I like it. I'll be buying it. I want to see the fight. But yeah, that's maybe a little stretch. I think these guys have got like a super following,
Do we think we get maybe like to add some depth to the card? Maybe like a Jamel Herring, Carl Frampton fight attached to it?
I don't think so. I think that's going to be a
own thing
in Ireland. I think that's going to end up in Belfast somewhere.
I'm trying to think of like something else to add to that card for some depth.
There's
not a lot.
Liam Williams, get a Liam Williams in a good fight, like a top That would be
you could do
help
that.
the card, I think, because he's recently
Rob Brandt, Liam Williams. Hey, I'm excited for that. That's a good
shout
fight.
out Liam Williams, just made number 10 on the Ring Magazine's top 10.
They should just consolidate those two cards and make Jamel Herring, Carl Frampton. Should do.
But well,
it would be awesome for as a consumer, I bet, for you guys though. But
oh, obviously, if it's a pay-per-view, I want the best card possible. I know that's generally not the case. I don't know what kind of money it's taken to get Dubois and Joyce into the ring together. So Frank Warren's.
You picked Dubois, obviously, Rob, right?
I do, but not in the same fashion as a lot of people over here are saying. Like, oh yeah, obviously Dubois knocks him out like clean.
Not like me, right? Where I'm like Dubois wins this with like 6 or 7.
I said 3.
I think Joyce is made out of pure concrete, and I think he's going to be a tough guy to get rid of. I can see this going decision.
Dubois is a jackhammer, though. It doesn't fucking matter.
He didn't stop Kevin Johnson, did he?
Kevin Johnson's a far more established and proven fighter in the heavyweight division, long term, historically speaking, than Joe Joyce.
Except everyone else is stopping him.
Professionals who can survive. Like, okay, did Kevin Johnson went to dentist with him? Is that
yes?
How old is he?
Old. He's old.
What's the name of the guy with the weird name that went 11 rounds with Wilder and he went the distance with Jarrell Miller? Like, what is his name?
Dubois.
Like, okay, some guys just can survive. Like, I mean, if that's the best you can do is I lost every round, but I survived. Okay, I don't know what that's worth. Like, do you think Joe Joyce is going to go in there looking to survive, or do you think he's going to go in there to try to win the fight?
I just think he's a super tough guy. I just don't think he's going to get him out of there. That's all.
What kind of question is that, Gary? Of course they're going to try to win and not survive. Joe Joyce is undefeated Olympic silver medalist.
That was
a young pup.
And he's going to get iced because if he went in there strictly survival mode, okay, maybe, right? But if you're going in there to win, you're going to get iced. The guy is drastically better than you. Like, okay, it's like playing Kobe one-on-one. You're going to beat him? Of course you're not going to beat him. He's better than you, right? Like,
I can argue against that. That's fact. That's not even like
come on.
Okay. Also,
you get knocked out in basketball, or you survive in basketball. Do you know what I mean?
with Kobe, that's true, Rob.
All right.
Nizzy Kid remix in the chat saying Anthony Yard would be in a big fight on that card. Oh, Anthony Yard comeback fight is going to happen sooner rather than later. I would not be surprised to see it on that card.
He's an Anthony Yard comeback fight, a big fight on that card.
I care as a boxing fan. Not talking about casuals here, right? Because that's a different conversation, right? Talking about just pure as a consumer out of that card. I care about what Anthony Yard does going forward.
Yeah, I want to see him again, but just the framing of the message in a big fight on that card. Is his comeback going to be in a big fight?
No. He's not saying that the Yard fight will be a big fight. He's saying Yard is going to be in a tough fight or a big fight. I think that's what he's trying to say. Like you put Anthony Yard up against Sullivan Barrera, like that's a big fight for him on a comeback fight. I would say. Not in the context or the connotation of selling pay-per-view. No. That's not what we're talking about here.
Oh,
in the context of for Anthony Yard's career coming back and fighting against Sullivan Barrera, a type like that on this card, that would be a big fight for him, and it would add depth for us as a hardcore consumer.
Fair enough.
I would like that.
It's understood.
And also, I'm trying to think of other names to be on the card, but keep forgetting names. Frank Warren, stable, not that deep. Any other thoughts on this topic, guys? We want to move on.
Joe Joyce might be like Dominic Brazil, where like he's not as bad as I think he is, but he ain't good either, right? Like when I talk about Dominic Brazil in the top 20, like no.
Yep, Joe Joyce beats Dominic Brazil. Moving on.